in Kisumu where the training was going to take place.
What do you mean by students?
There was going to be up to 60 students turning up for the training. They were coming in from Uganda, and I believe several were coming from Kenya.
Where is this pastoral center?
It's on the outskirts of Kisumu.
Yes, what for?
I was waiting for people to turn up. I understood that everybody was traveling in small groups for security reasons. That evening, when Samuel told me there was a good number of people at the center, at the pastoral center,
Yes?
I got a taxi to the pastoral center.
Yes.
And I met with Samuel. At that time, there was a group of people in one of the conference halls.
Yes.
Where they seemed to be going through lectures or briefings. I agreed with Samuel that I would be there in the morning. I was in the morning of the 24th, my lord. 24th of June, 2024. Sorry, 24th of July, 2024.
Yes.
After I finished talking with Samuel,
when did you reach Kisumu? Which day?
I was in Kenya like a week before.
This meeting was very exactly
On the 24th of July, 2024.
Yes. So you agreed to go back?
I agreed to go back, and then I went back to my hotel. In the morning, I checked the news, and it seemed there was the Kenyan security forces that conducted an arrest operation at the pastoral center.
What do you mean by an operation?
From what the news reported, they've gone and arrested a group of people that was there. I think they were up to something suspicious.
Okay.
I then left Kenya. I tried to contact Simon and Samuel, but nobody was answering their phones, so I understood there was something up, so I left Kenya.
What about Besigye?
Besigye was in Nairobi. I understand he landed in Nairobi. No actions were taken against him. So, I don't know, I left. I didn't speak to him for a couple of weeks after that.
So what followed?
What followed, as far as I was concerned, my job was done. And so I headed back to Europe.
Yes.
As far as I was concerned, I provided the Ugandan security services with more than enough evidence of treason on Dr. Besigye, Wakihima, and the group of people that was arrested at Kisumu.
Yes. So what followed after you went back to Europe?
I was contacted, I stayed in contact with Dr. Besigye. I was in contact with him a week to 2 weeks after Kisumu.
Yes.
And we discussed what went wrong, etc. Why it was a mess.
How did you discuss this?
That was by phone, by WhatsApp.
Yes.
I asked Dr. Besigye if they were still interested in cooperating with the imaginary people that I was representing.
Yes.
And he said yes. this point, as I said, I thought my job was finished. But it turned out that Dr. Besigye was going to be in Athens, Greece, at the same time that I was there.
Yes. So what happened?
So we arranged a meeting at the airport in Athens.
When?
This would have been, the meeting was arranged for September 29th. That's 2024. Dr. Besigye stated the reason he was in Athens. He had just arrived from the United States to attend one or two day conference at a resort outside of Athens.
So he had been in the US.
I understand, yes.
Yes.
The conference, from what he said, was organized by South Africans. For the meeting at the airport, I took one of my associates with me.
Yes.
To provide me with security, to watch I was not being set up.
Yes.
And to also record the meeting from a distance. I met Dr. Besigye just inside one of the main entrances to the airport on the ground floor.
You met him at
Athens International Airport, just inside one of the main doors.
inside one of the
Main entrances.
on the ground floor. Yes.
He was accompanied by a gentleman he said was a former minister from Kenya. He was accompanied by a gentleman who said he was a former minister from Kenya, my lord.
Yes. My Lord, I was thinking we will just finish this part here in about 20 minutes, and then we'll go, yeah, about 20 or 30 minutes, then we'll go. We shall have also reduced them.
What did you say after 20 minutes we shall do something?
Through with, no, through with this episode of Athens.
I thought you were saying this room.
No.
Then,
Okay, can I go for it?
let us start the break of Saturday, so it's human. The break will take 30 minutes to come back here at 2. You ready to say something?
Today we are supposed to have a visitation day in prisons. Today is a visitation day in prisons. So the people who give us supplies here want to see. I guess I'm pressing to see them in the cells to know that they are taking the supplies prisons.
You want me to?
Madam Winnie, Madam Ajati, and WAF. I forgot one person who brought me a message from my dad. It's my uncle, Besigye.
We come back here at 2. If you wish to have your break with those people, I think we should let them have their break here. Without going down.
And we can go if there's no
I
problem.
have no.
Richard will come on road. Chief Attorney. Mr. Wilson, before we broke off, you had stated that Dr. Besigye came with a gentleman who he said was a former minister from Kenya.
Yes.
Yes, so what followed?
The gentleman from Kenya left, and myself and Dr. Besigye moved to one of the upstairs restaurants, cafes in Athens airport.
Which floor?
That would have been on the first floor, not the ground floor, the first floor.
Yes.
I was accompanied by one of my associates that followed us, and myself and Dr. Besigye took up the table. My associate took up the table close to us.
Yes.
Dr. Besigye was not aware of my associate being present.
Yes.
To record this meeting, I was wearing an audio recorder around my neck.
An audio?
An audio recorder, audio surveillance device.
Yes.
I was wearing a wristwatch with a covert camera in it.
Yes.
My associate was equipped with the same. In addition, he had two other covert cameras. One in a power bank and one in a flash drive.
Yes.
The meeting started with questions about why the group of Kisumu had been arrested.
Yes.
I placed the blame on Joel Wakihima. And I also informed Dr. Besigye that the people I was representing, the imaginary Kurdish company, was not happy with myself.
Yes.
Because the operation had been compromised before it started.
Why did you tell him that? Why did you blame Wakayima?
Because we needed somebody to blame. Why was everybody arrested? There must have been a leak.
Yes.
At this stage, as I said earlier, I expected to finish with this, but now I've been asked to continue the cooperation. I was asked by Ugandan Security Services. Dr. Besigye if they wanted to continue the cooperation.
Yes.
And with this I meant he wanted my people to supply him with weapons, fake currency, funding.
Yes.
And logistical support in return for what we asked for, and he said yes. I also brought it up, the fact Kisumu was compromised, was he capable of achieving his goal of overthrowing the Ugandan government? And he said yes, he was. We were looking to get things started in early 2025.
What do you mean by things getting started?
That we could start operations within Uganda in early 2025. The operations, the reconnaissance operations, the surveillance operations,
Yes.
the direct action operations, in conjunction with the civil unrest, the assassination of President Museveni, with the final phase with military assistance to overthrow the government of Uganda by means of arms.
Yes.
Most of the conversation was about that and why Joe Wakahima, or how Joe Wakahima could have compromised the operation in Kisumu, the training camp in Kisumu. Then, out of the blue, Dr. Besigye asked for air defense.
What is air defense?
When I pushed him further, he wanted what's classed as manpads, surface-to-air missiles.
Yes.
That could be used to take out helicopters and aircraft. response was yes, they're in the lines of they're available on the black market, but they're extremely expensive and extremely difficult to get hold of.
Who else was listening to this?
Just myself and Dr. Besigye. And it was being recorded on the audio device around me.
Yes. So what happened after telling him they were expensive?
I found the request very strange, especially this stage, because we had already discussed
What?
we'd already discussed means, weapons, and tactics to carry out their intended operations within Uganda.
Yes.
I said to Dr. Besigye we could do what they wanted against aircraft and helicopters using armed drones.
You can use armed drones.
Yes, target helicopters and aircraft on the ground.
Yes.
But they still seem adamant that they wanted manpads, surface-to-air missiles.
Yes.
We also discussed targeting aircraft on the ground and on takeoff at one of the large air bases here in Uganda. Yes.
What did you discuss?
Targeting aircraft which are on the ground and taking off, which could be targeted by drones.
Yes.
And an air base in Uganda. I can't pronounce the name. It begins with an N.
Yes. Do you know Nakasongola?
That's the name. Dr. Besigye said he had people within the Air Force.
Yes.
That could provide specifics of the helicopters and aircraft that the Ugandan military was using.
I can provide specific.
Specific details
Yes.
of the aircraft and helicopters Ugandan military are using.
Yes.
So we can ensure that any equipment, any weapons we provided would be effective against those aircraft.
Yes.
We discussed the further training of personnel and equipping of personnel.
Yes.
We agreed that in the future, we'd only be training a small group of personnel at the time. Trusted personnel. We went over what we discussed at the previous meetings.
Yes. So what was the whole purpose of surface air missiles? What was the end goal?
To shoot down helicopters and aircraft.
And so, why?
I don't know their intentions, but they intended to shoot down helicopters and aircraft.
Yes.
From a military perspective, if you're going to hold ground, then you need to be able to, these days, you need to be able to deal with aircraft and helicopters.
Yes.
Also, a concern of mine, which I raised, was if people are seeking air defense, that's not just a Ugandan problem, that's a regional problem.
Yes.
The reason being, for example, if Manpad's surface-to-air missiles was delivered to somewhere like Besigye in the Congo, there was no control of the supply chain.
Yes.
So there was a huge potential for those missiles to end up in the hands of anyone. Another red flag for me was this question came after Dr. Bessigye's meeting in Athens with some group that was sponsored by South Africa.
Yes. So what else did you discuss?
We mainly went over what we discussed before. The logistics, the money, and then the fake money.
As you're discussing all this, what was Dr. Besigye doing?
What do you mean?
You said you're in a cafe.
Yes.
What was Dr. Besigye apart, away from discussing with him?
Dr. Besigye was very relaxed. We ordered some sandwiches, some coffee, but he was very relaxed.
So does that mean that he was eating?
Yes.
What was he eating?
Some sandwiches. We ordered some sandwiches and coffee.
Yes.
I don't think in any way in his mind did he realize he was involved in a sting operation. That I in any way was working for the Ugandan government.
Can you repeat that?
I don't think anywhere in his mind did he consider that I was working for the Ugandan government. After what had happened at Kisumu, to me it was a clear indication that Dr. Besigye had a large network, had the intentions to assassinate the president, to cause major civil unrest in Uganda.
This no? He had the intention to assassinate the president of Uganda.
To cause major civil unrest within Uganda.
Yes.
And to possibly use military personnel, security service personnel to overthrow the government of Uganda.
How?
By use of force, by use of violence. But from my dealings with them, they had the capabilities to cause chaos. which no doubt would lead to the deaths and injuries of innocent people.
Yes.
But in no way were wise enough
Yes.
to be able to effectively pull off a coup.
Yes. So
As
what
I-
is?
As I said before, I view Dr. Besigye as an extreme liability. Because from their behavior, they would have aligned with anybody
Yes.
I would have provided them with the means, the weapons, the finances.
Yes.
To overthrow the Ugandan government by means of force.
Yes. So, who funded the movement of Besigye from US to Geneva?
I don't know.
How did you know that he held a meeting in the US funded by South Africans?
Not in the US, this was in Greece.
In Greece. Okay. How did you know?
Because he told me. The meeting was held at a 5-star resort in one of the small villages about 30 kilometers outside of Athens.
The meeting was
Held at a 5-star resort
just a minute at the 5-star. Yes.
at one of the small towns about 30 kilometers outside of Athens.
So what did you do with the recordings?
Everything was passed back to Uganda, to the Ugandan security services through Moses.
So how did you conclude this meeting?
We concluded this meeting as we would stay in touch and we would look for another meeting in the future where we could start the training of Dr. Besigye's personnel.
Yes, so what followed thereafter?
What happened is we stayed in touch, and in the next couple of weeks we arranged a meeting in Nairobi.
Now, before you go to Nairobi, throughout these engagements you had with Dr. Besigye, which number was he using to communicate with you?
He was using the Swiss number, which I gave to you.
And what kind of communication were you having with him?
We were using WhatsApp.
So, what followed? You said you kept in touch.
We kept in touch and we arranged for Nairobi. We had some discussions about logistics, etc. But the main thing was the meeting in Nairobi.
Yes?
Again, I was apprehensive about the meeting.
Why?
Because what Dr. Besigye was talking about and planning was highly illegal.
Yes.
So I need to safeguard my reputation.
Yes.
Because I cannot afford to be associated with terrorists.
Why do you call them terrorists?
If anybody wants to kill innocent people and damage innocent people's livelihood, to me they're a terrorist. And I think in anybody's terms, they're a terrorist.
So what followed?
What followed was the meeting in Nairobi. I came to Uganda.
Yes.
The date of the meeting was arranged. This time I was told to go to a specific apartment in Nairobi.
Who else did you inform about this meeting?
Moses. I take it informed Ugandan security services.
So what happened after you informed him?
We moved to Nairobi. We went to a location at the Riverside Apartments. At the Riverside Apartments in Nairobi, my lord.
When you say we moved, whom did you go with?
There was myself and one of my associates.
Yes.
My associate was there because he was going to be the representative from the Kurdish company. He was a senior representative and he was there to talk mainly about the banking.
Yes.
And to ensure everything was in order before the operation got started. Before this, I had asked Dr. Besigye.
What do you mean before this?
Before the actual meeting started, in the run-up to this meeting.
Yes.
I had asked Dr. Besigye if there was anyone else that would be accompanying him. He said he would be bringing somebody along with him, that in case we could not contact Dr. Besigye, would take his place. Dr. Besigye arrived at the apartment,
Yes.
he arrived with Mr. Obed.
Yes.
After introductions,
Yes.
we started discussing the whole plan.
When you started the meeting, whom are you referring to?
Myself, my associate, was in the room with Mr. Obed and Dr. Besigye.
And when you say that before discussing the whole plan, which plan are you referring to?
This is the plan to assassinate the president of Uganda and to overthrow the government of Uganda by means of force.
Which date is this of the meeting?
This was November 16th, 2024, my lord.
November
16th, 2024.
So when did you go to Nairobi yourself?
That day, we left early in the morning.
Yes. So proceed. You said before you discussed the plan.
We discussed the plan in detail. The key points, again, mobilization.
So what did you discuss about mobilization?
My associate was, I told him, or we advised him to be, I advised him to be harsh in his questioning. Because at this stage, this was the final meeting before actions were going to start to take place. Before the imaginary people we're representing are going to start spending money, and before actions will start to take place within Uganda.
When were the actions supposed to take place?
In March 2025, Dr. Besigye stated they'd be starting major civil unrest within Uganda.
Why did you ask your associate to ask harsh questions?
Because this is business. From perspective of our cover story, this is serious business. There's going to be a lot of money involved, and we're talking about overthrowing a government and also assassinating a president. Mobilization, yes, they could mobilize for civil unrest. Dr. Besigye offered to introduce us to a senior member of the Ugandan military.
Yes.
Mobilization, we asked Dr. Besigye again what logistics would be required.
No. Before you go there, you say Dr. Kiza Besigye offered to introduce you to senior members of the Ugandan military.
Yes.
Why?
To prove, because we wanted to discuss things, we asked for the names. He refused to give us the names for security purposes, which is understandable.
Why did he want to introduce you to those military officers?
From an operational perspective, we wanted to confirm he actually had military people on his side.
Yes.
From an intelligence perspective, we wanted to know their identities to give them to Ugandan intelligence.
Yes.
We also asked what logistics were required. What did they need?
Yes.
Dr. Besigye's response was they had small arms, they could get small arms, such as rifles.
Yes.
But they required air defense, surface-to-air missiles. My associate went on to inform him that we could do the same with drones.
What do you mean by that?
That we could attack helicopters and aircraft with drones, on the ground aircraft.
Yes.
And there was a conversation about how we could target helicopters and aircraft. Again, we explained surface-to-air missiles are expensive.
Yes.
And again, buying surface-to-air missiles on the black market, you're going to draw a lot of attention.
So, what was his response?
They wanted surface drone missiles. They would consider drones, but he seemed adamant on surface drone missiles.
When you say they wanted, whom are you referring to?
Dr. Besigye.
You said they wanted, even when you told them that you actually shoot down the aircraft using drones,
Yes.
they insisted they wanted surface to air
Yes.
missiles. So who are these people you're referring to?
I am talking to my communication was
Yes.
with Dr. Besigye.
Yes.
It's clear that Dr. Besigye had a network of people. He had a network of people for his civil uprising. He had people within Ugandan security forces.
You have said that?
Also, we mentioned about training people in Nairobi in the next few days. He said he had people available.
Yes.
We also had one gentleman that's in the dock over there,
Who?
Mr. Obed.
Yes.
That was in the meeting with Dr. Besigye. That Dr. Besigye said would be Dr. Besigye's person if we could not get hold of Dr. Besigye. We pushed on about logistics and the details of the airport in the Congo, Mahagi. Dr. Besigye said the place was secure and we could land equipment there, logistics, weapons, etc.
Yes.
Dr. Besigye offered us a meeting with the Minister of Works from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
What was his name?
And we didn't get his name.
Yes.
I would say that's the main points for that meeting. Again, we went over everything we've discussed before. And towards the end of that meeting, we were planning for the training of small groups of people.
So, what were you doing while this meeting was ongoing?
We were recording. There was an audio recorder in the main reception area.
Yes.
There was also a video camera, a covert video camera, and a power bank.
Yes.
The there was a problem with the video because when the Kenyans come in to make the arrests, they bundled up everything and hit one of the buttons on the recorder and deleted the recording.
Yes.
Towards the end of the meeting, there was a knock on the door. Towards the end of the meeting, there was a knock on the front door of the apartment.
Yes.
I opened the door.
Yes.
There was about 4 or 5 gentlemen there.
Yes.
When I asked them what they wanted, they said they were Kenyan police. I asked for their identifications. Whether they had a warrant, or they just pushed past me.
Yes.
I struggled with one at the door. I got past him.
Yes.
I realized what was happening, so I left the apartment building. I went down the street.
Yes.
And I returned to the apartment about an hour later. A little after that, my associate returned. He had the key to the apartment, our phones, etc. And we entered the apartment. We stayed there until early morning. We then got a car in the morning and returned to Uganda.
Okay, so what happened to the audio recording?
We have it. That was forwarded. All the gadgets I used throughout this operation have been forwarded to the investigators to be analyzed. The phone I used has been passed on to investigators to be analyzed.
Who funded the movement, the flight of Treason Besigye and the big introduction?
I have no idea.
Yes. What did Mr. Besigye say in that meeting?
He said very little. It was Dr. Besigye that was doing most of the talk.
So what happened to Kizabesi?
I found out he'd been taken back to Uganda.
How about Besigye?
I understand he accompanied him back to Uganda.
How long did this meeting take place?
It must have been about 2 hours.
So, yes, so now what happened when you reached Uganda after that meeting?
Classified.
No, my lord. Yes. Wilson.
Yes.
How many passports do you hold?
2.
From when?
I have a British passport and I have an American passport.
So, how can you identify those passports if you looked at
I have the passports.
So, can you look at the copies of your passports?
Yes, they're my passports.
So, can you show code when you traveled to Geneva for the 29th of October meeting?
If you've got time, because I'm going to have to go through the stamps.
Go through.
The first meeting in Geneva.
In Geneva, 2023. Can you show code the exit, the entry and exit?
Which passport is he looking at now?
This would be in my American passport, my lord. page 13 of my US passport.
Yes, can you pass on the original to the judge? So which page is that?
That's page 13 of my American passport, which is this passport. One is there. There's an entry into Geneva for the 22nd of the 10th, 22nd of October, 2023, my lord.
On the 20th?
22nd
22nd of
October, 27/10, 22.
Yes.
I left to Zurich. I left through Zurich.
You exited.
Exited through Zurich
Yes.
on the 30th of the 10th, 23 of October of the 10th.
Yes. Can you also inform court when you left, when you entered Switzerland for the 2024 January 28th meeting?
My lord, I entered Switzerland to Zurich on the 27th of January, 2024. I exited Switzerland again through Zurich on the 30th of the 1st, 2024, my lord. The 30th of January 2024. And the markings are on page 20 of my American passport.
What about the June 14th, 2024?
There's no markings for June because I entered Switzerland from a Schengen country.
What do you mean?
Within Europe, within the Schengen countries, the European Union countries, which include Switzerland,
Yes.
Switzerland for visa purposes, you don't have to show passports.
So when did you go to Treason? Can you show when you went to Treason for a training on 24th of July 2024?
I have a mark here. This is going to be independent, but I can't read the date. The entry and exit there.
Are you still with the American passport?
Yes, my lord, this is still the American passport. And it's on page 20.
Can you?
You look at the original and tell when you entered the zone.
very, very faint, my lord.
What does it mean? The date is not clear in your passport?
It's not clear. They stamped it, my lord, but it's not clear. It's there.
It's not clear. It's the 19th July 2024.
I'm trying to get the evidence from the bar.
Most obliged.
Are you recalled that you can't read the date?
Most obliged. But which month is there?
That's July.
So the month is indicated?
Yes, my lord.
July which year?
2024.
And on which page?
20.
July 2020?
2024, my lord. The exit is on August the 1st, 2024.
Exit is when?
August the 1st, 2024, my lord.
On which page?
20.
So when did you enter Athens?
Is it US passport?
I'm not sure, my lord. I need to look.
Why don't you use your written? Then you return back at you.
The thing is, my lord, I travel a lot, so there's a lot of stamps in these passports. For the Athens meeting on the 29th of September, for the meeting on the 29th, I entered Greece on the 25th of the 9th, 25th of September, 2024, my lord. And that's in my British passport. On the 25th of the 9th, 2024, my lord. Of September.
When did you exit?
That is in the UK passport.
Yes, my lord.
And when did you exit?
I exited on the 2nd of October, 2024.
Using which passport?
That's in my UK passport, my British passport.
Which page?
Then no mark. The British passport's no longer.
Oh. So what about Nairobi in November?
Nairobi, on page 24 of my American passport.
Page 20?
On page 24.
Yes.
I entered Kenya on the 16th of November, 2024.
When did you exit?
On page 25, I have an entry visa for Uganda.
Yes.
On the 17th. 17th of November, 2024.
Which page is that?
Page 25 of the US passport.
My Lord, we could have copies of the passports for PW1, that is for UK, for US and UK. And the original for confirmation in the same.
I have the written copies whatever you are doing. I have written copies.
We disclose, my Lord. What is them to look at them, what we are going to exhibit. Yes, my Lord. We want to admit, my Lord, after you are looking through, we want to make a prayer, my Lord, after.
And I used to have a chance to look at it.
Very much.
Yes.
In fact, if you have copies, whatever is written in that room, you have copies.
My Lord, we disclose to them. We disclose to the accused person both. All this information.
But he's saying he doesn't have the lectures in
They're out there.
I'm going to give you. don't have other copies here. Maybe guide us once again. Specific dates that we are interested in this part,
My Lord, to get on the actual dates.
yes, which we are looking at.
Okay.
So that people so these entries and exits. We start with US.
My Lord, the US passport is on page 13.
We told them we are trying to look at the entries.
Yes, entry and exit.
Entry and exit. That is what reminded me the end of this you have where you are in this passport where you are entry using the passport.
My Lord, here there is maybe let me start with the 22nd of October 2020.
That is US passport.
Yes, my
So
Lord.
we are looking at each entry.
Yes, entry and exit.
Yes, start with entry, exit.
Yes, my Lord. But you can give them back to the witness and you can give us the
We are not,
give them. Yes, can you look at your American passport?
let me confirm now from the
Most obliged.
the US passport. Did you say the entry is 22nd October 2023?
What page, my lord? 13.
Page 13.
I entered Geneva, my lord, on the 22nd of October, 2023.
Did I get you correctly that you left on 30th October 2023?
Yes, my lord.
Then entry in Switzerland with the same passport. Was it on 22nd January 2023?
Yes, my lord.
We exited on 30th January 2023.
Yes, my lord.
Same passport, did I capture properly that you don't know the date you entered in Kisumu, but it was in July 2024? Or Kisumu, the same passport, in July 2024. July. The date is not clear.
The date is not clear, my lord.
What is July?
July 2024.
The exit is 1st August
Yes, my lord.
2024.
Yes, my lord.
All this is in this passport.
All this is the US passport.
Let us now go to UK passport now.
Yes, my lord.
Did you enter on 25th September 2024?
Yes, my lord.
UK passport and your exit date is 2nd October 2024.
Yes, my lord.
Then the same passport, go to Nairobi
No, my lord. That's the American passport.
My lord,
Yes, my lord.
yes, American passport on 16th November
Yes, my lord.
2024. And then exit 17th November
Yes, my lord.
2024. It is passport. In other words, I'm trying to confirm this that whenever you are looking at this. Yes. Have you looked at those?
Yes, can you look at your American passport?
Yes.
What's your passport number?
My American passport number is 5937
5937. Yes.
66
Yes.
906.
Yeah. 6. In which name is it?
Just
The name is Andrew Wilson.
repeat the US passport number.
The U.S. passport is 5937 66 906.
What's the date of issue?
11th December 2018.
And who issued it?
The United States government.
Issued by
The United States, it was issued by the United States, my lord.
My lord, unless there's an objection from defense, we will
how
have.
can you complete with the UK number? Does it have?
No, I want to go one by one. My lord, unless there's an objection from defense, we will have. Unless there's an objection from defense, we will have the witnesses copy of the American passport admitted as a prosecution exhibit.
Purpose reform for what is specific? What you want to
For his identity, one, and also proof of travel.
identity?
Yeah, for his identity and proof of travel to Switzerland, Greece, and Kenya. My lord, this would be PX1.
I'm starting with the copy of US passport number 59376696. The names of Andrew Wilson, DW1. He tendered his note as Treason, and we shall mark it as P1.
Yes, can you look at your British passport?
Yes.
Which name does it contain?
Andrew Wilson.
What is this number?
124.
That's right.
124 56 78 07.
Can you repeat the number?
124 567 807.
Okay. Who issued it?
United Kingdom government.
When?
The 15th of April.
How many?
The 15th of April, 2021, my lord.
My lord, unless there's an objection from defense, we will have the passport number 124567807 for PW1 Andrew Wilson, admitted as prosecution exhibit.
The number?
My lord, it is 124 56 78 07. We pray to have it admitted as a prosecution exhibit. To confirm, 1, identity of PW1, and 2, that he entered and exited Greece on the 25th of September 2024 and 2nd of October 2024 respectively.
No objection, madam.
date the passport number 124567807 in the names of Andrew Wilson, PW1. Leave tender and report as constitution exhibit and we shall mark it as P2.
Much of that. Well, this is not all. For the record, Thomas, co-assistant deputy. My lord, the next, as faced with this witness, my lord, is to do with the several recording gadgets and devices that the next phase of this witness's testimony, my lord, is to do with the several recording gadgets, devices that this witness has referred to several during his testimony. And my lord, these gadgets, since they were handed over to the investigators, have been with the forensics team. And my lord, the prosecution is humbly praying that this honorable, yes, and the forensics team who analyzed these gadgets and prepare the report thereof. My lord, these gadgets have been with the forensics team, and we humbly pray that this honorable court be pleased to give the prosecution an adjournment to enable us get hold of these gadgets so the witness can identify them before this honorable court, as it is crucial to this case and its testimony.
Are you trying to say the narrative, the story, you have finished the narrative, we are going for identification of what the court was?
Yes, my lord. And we humbly pray this honorable court be pleased to give us just one day to get this sorted, so we can reconvene the next day.
So you pray for when?
We pray we be given tomorrow to do all this, and we can convene
You come back tomorrow.
on Friday, my lord. Friday.
On Friday, in fact, I want to also communicate it. It is off and bring other work. For purposes of this case, when it is on a daily here, Friday is out. So that's when I'm bringing it. So this one I can accommodate from Monday to Saturday. So Friday is not available.
Then we would humbly pray for the next convenient date, which is Monday. Monday, 24th August. My lord.
specifically with the identification of those victims, but we need to be, are we going to be watching also? Are we going to listen so that we prepare?
It will be a combination of both, because they are both videos.
The IT must know if we are to watch, know how to watch. We are to listen. We need to be guided.
These items, these gadgets, the material in them were reduced in form of flash drive.
My clarification for the purposes of preparations with the IT team. If I remember, the guys were saying that they need over how many hours to listen, to watch. So shall we, even now as God, now we are coming to that, are we going to be watching? Are we going to be listening?
Yes, my lord, both watching.
So how is it that we have TVs here, is it laptops? We need to be prepared.
My lord, the gadgets are all in place.
That's it.
All in place.
So the exits is adjourned to the first. It is Monday. We shall start at I don't know, with the state, yeah, we shall start at 4, but the media people and some people requested for a meeting. So I want you to attend. This one will have closed. So on that day, we shall start with a small meeting with the media people. We want to sort out some things with the elders. So on that day, man shall have a meeting first.
Who are coming from Treason?
Yes,
I request you to start at 11.
that's it. Because you are supposed to.
I'm supposed to
Those who
wake up,
agree.
cook.
What I'm saying, what we had agreed initially that you are supposed to meet your lawyers from the team before we come here. You are supposed to meet lawyers.
Like now, they are no longer there. It's cooking.
So that's okay. When you come, you are supposed to first accept and meet. Okay.